Children,
Yes, Mama.
where have you been to?
Grandpapa.
You stopped along the way. I sent you to the Jamaica Library Service to enjoy Anansi SOUNDSPLASH 2020.
Yay!
Now be on your way and have the most fabulous National Storytelling Day.
Yes, we are at the Jamaica Library Service for National Storytelling Day. Today, Friday, November 20. I am Kishma Simpson, Senior Director at the Jamaica Library Service. Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks, Founder and Director of Ntukuma, the Storytelling Foundation of Jamaica. Members of the Ntukuma team, storytellers, local and international. Members of staff of the Jamaica Library Service, our online viewers across the world, greetings. On behalf of the Director General, Ms. Maureen Thompson, and the Jamaica Library Service team, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all who have joined online. National Storytelling Day was proclaimed by the Governor General in 2014 to be observed annually on November 20. It is significant that this day is also observed as Universal Children's Day, where we recognize and celebrate our children and our youth. And so we especially welcome all children viewing today. Today's program, themed Head Come Before Book, is the highlight of the week of activities for Anansi SOUNDSPLASH, National Storytelling Conference and Festival, when Anansi goes to the library. Storytellers were engaged throughout the parish libraries across Jamaica, and their stories were compiled for today's virtual viewing. As you watch and celebrate National Storytelling Day, I wish for everyone to be reminded that stories teach us about life, about ourselves, and about others. Storytelling provides a unique way for us to develop an understanding, respect, and appreciation of our heritage and culture, and promotes positive attitudes. In partnership with Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks and the Storytelling Foundation of Jamaica, the Jamaica Library Service established storytelling clubs in parish libraries island-wide last year. This is in an effort to train and revitalize the art form of storytelling, among other objectives. The programs within the clubs fully supports the themes and concepts of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information National Standards Curriculum. We therefore encourage everyone to join the public library and become a member of the Storytelling Club. So by next year, we anticipate the growth of the clubs and more participation from members on Storytelling Day. Earlier today, if you had joined us, and if you had not, we remind you, we hosted the launch of a children's book titled, That's a Good Idea, written by Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks herself. And I encourage you all to get a copy to read, coming soon at your library or from a major bookstore in Kingston. We also invite you to join us this evening at 6 p.m. for a radio show called ANANSE on the Airwaves on FIT 97 FM with host Beverly Edwards. In closing, we thank all our partners, the Storytelling Foundation of Jamaica led by Dr. Meeks, the Ministry of Education, and all the Jamaica Library Service team members island-wide contributing to this event. Please ensure you like the Jamaica Library Service Facebook page right now, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and get notifications for live shows. Head come before book. Please sit back, relax, look out for the storyteller from your favorite parish, and be entertained and educated. Anansi website.
So Sean, how things, man?
I'm good enough. I'm happy to be here for National Storytelling Day. So Jerry, tell me, why you get from what the senior director of the Jamaica Library Service just said?
That easy, man. What she says that if you go into any library, you have to come up with enough wisdom, knowledge.
All right. Any library?
Of course, any public library.
Okay. Even the one in St. Thomas?
Tell me something. Of course, St. Thomas. No St. Thomas you come from. Or you don't remember which parish you come from.
Okay. Hear what? Let us go to a feature on St. Thomas. And remember, I am Sean Thomas from St. Thomas.
Journey from Westmoreland.
Going to St. Thomas.
All right.
The St. Thomas Parish Library has been in operation for over 70 years. Presently, we have the main library and 4 branch libraries, namely Cheswick, Portmarant, Seafort, and Dallas. Don't know how to use a computer and willing to learn? Visit the nearest location and register for computer classes for the young and the young at heart. Utilize our free Wi-Fi, computers, and tablets to access the EBSCO database, complete those struggling assignments, and join your virtual classes. Looking for exciting and fun-filled programs? Stop by the Jesuit Branch Library to be a part of the infant spelling competition, the Portmarant Branch Library for online Scrabble and reading club. Have a creative mind? Check out C4 Branch Library's Do-It-Yourself Club. Using technology to enhance literacy, the Yallas Branch Library brings to you the Happy Fridays and Young Critics Book Club. Not to be outdone, the Parish Library welcomes you to our video gaming club and the fascinating annual One Love concert celebrating Jamaican culture. Take along your interests, join the library, and very soon you'll be a master at your craft. We are eager to have you, so visit us and experience all these amazing things for yourselves. See you soon!
I am from the Anova Parish Library. The title of my story is Anansi the Spider. Long ago in the deep rural forest lived some very proud animals. There was Giraffe, who proudly introduced himself as, I am Giraffe the tallest. Bear came up, well, I am Bear and I'm the heaviest. And Tiger came up and said, well, I am Tiger. I'm the strongest and I'm the king of the forest. They looked around and they saw Anansi. They started laughing. But Anansi, who are you? You are the weakest in the forest. Anansi was not feeling good about it. He said, I am the weakest, but I am the cleverest and I'll show you. They started laughing. How can you show us that? How can you show us that, Anansi? Well, I am going to catch a snake. I am the cleverest. They laughed at Anansi the more. So Anansi had a plan. The next day, Anansi went into the forest and he made a noose and he put some of Snake's favorite berries in the noose. Snake slid down from the tree and saw that those juicy berries. And he just quickly gobbled them up and laughed at Anansi. Anansi was upset. So the next day, he made another noose and he put some luscious ripe banana in the noose. Snake looked down and eyes the luscious banana and he just got them. And Nancy was angry and evil. You snake! 2 days after, Anansi walked over to Snake's house with his walking stick. He knocked on the door. Snake, are you here to capture me, Anansi? Think I don't know that you were trying to capture me all these days? Snake was very, well, almost surprised about Anansi coming. But Anansi was very determined to capture Snake. So he said, I am clever than you, Snake. I am clever than you. Snake laughed. You are not as clever as me. You are not. Anansi threw down his walking stick and said, I bet you're not longer than this. So Snake put himself beside Anansi's walking stick and said, see, I'm longer than that by far. I'm the longest around here. So Anansi grabbed a piece of vine and tied Snake's tail to the walking stick. And Snake was trying to get away, but by this time it was so tight around his tail. So Anansi dragged him and presented him to the other animals in the forest. And from that day, everybody respected Anansi because indeed Anansi was known as the cleverest in the forest. Jack Mandora, choose now.
My name is Kishima Black. I will be performing for you Anansi and Rata by Miss Louise Bennett Coverley from the St. Anne Parish Library.
Once upon a time, Brother Rata was a very feisty and highfalutin fella. He used to dress up himself in the latest style and fashion and show off himself and gallop like say he did better than everybody else. So Anansi make up his mind to cut down Brother to the size. Anansi think up him brain how we go catch Brother Rata feel worrying. And then pops. Anansi remember that Brother Rata love dance until no one left. Every drum knock, Brother Rata they cut figure. The one thing Brother Rata couldn't resist was music. So Anansi give out saying go have a big dance. And then invite Brother Rata to the ball. Anansi shine up in dance floor. Shine and slippery like glass. Anansi was the fiddler at the dance. And as soon as Brother step in at the dance hall, as soon Anansi start play a sweet tune on the fiddle and sing say, ying the ying the ying, ying the ying the ying, ying the ying the ying. Ying the ying the ying, ying the ying the ying, ying the ying the ying. Take care ya gatako. Nai natala to ying the ying, take care ya gatako. Nai natala to ying the ying, take care ya gatako. Nai natala to ying the ying. When the music sweet, Brother Rata, so him start wheel and turn and jump and prance and cut capos all over the dance floor in such a way that everybody stop dance to look for Rata jiggins and they start praise up Brother Rata how him dance pretty and Brother Rata dance with it better. And Nancy laughed to himself to see how him plan a work good. And so him slide him fiddle in another sweeter tune. Sing say, bandy witch, witch, bandy witch, witch, bandy witch, witch, witch. Bandy witch, witch, bandy witch, witch, bandy witch, witch, witch. Tumba henga, fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la. Tumba henga, fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la. Brother Rata cold figure and cold figure and cold figure.
So till him slide on the shine floor and drop down and he chose his pop. Everybody goes out and laugh off a rata. Knocks him, shame. So till he run going and walk hole go hide. And from that day till today day, rata live in a hole. And it's a Nancy make it. Jack Mandora, me not choose none.
St. James Parish Library presents Puss, Dog, and Nancy. Once upon a time, Brother Puss and Brother Dog used to live near one another. And them was good friends, as night come, as day come out, as them get a little chance, they would have started the gallanting and the chatting. Nobody could even hear them. Yes, take a Brother Dog and Brother Puss. One a bark, one a meow, and I make noise all over the place. So Brother Anansi he decided to mash up them squad, and he made this one big cascade between them. I saw. Here Anansi to Brother Puss. Brother Puss, you don't think Brother Dog is a very nice man? Brother Puss laugh and say, Dog, I'm my friend, but he nice if it's true. The word not even drop out of his mouth quick before Brother Nancy run go to Brother Dog and tell him, say Brother Puss, I walk and I tell the whole neighborhood, say Brother Dog noisy, and he don't want him as neighbor. He said, Brother Dog catching a one piece of temper, and he start back and swear out at Brother Puss and talk about what he want do to Puss if he ever catch in a yard. So Brother Puss now hear Brother Dog swear after him, and him starts to swear after Brother Dog back and talk what he want do to Brother Dog. So the two of them start swear after each other, and the whole neighborhood couldn't even hear them ears because of Brother Dog and Brother Puss. So one day when evening come, and Brother Puss had tied him back to move from ground to go home. Passing Brother Nancy say, Evening, Brother Puss. Brother Puss say, How do you do, Brother Nancy? Here the one Brother Nancy now. How are you going home, Brother Puss? Me dey take the long way around. How are you going home, Brother Nancy? Brother Nancy say, me dey take the shortcut through Brother Dog yard. No, Brother Nancy, me can't follow you. Oh, Brother Dog is a very angry dog, and I'm afraid of him. True man, Brother Puss, you're afraid of Brother Dog. You not see your mouth alone him got. Me hear him and tell Brother Monkey say you can't pass him yard. If I was you, I would have walked him yard just to prove him wrong. No, Brother Nancy, coward man keeps on board. Me not go with you. Here, Brother Nancy, to Brother Puss. Brother Puss, I sir, me know what we can do. Make me run a joke on Brother Dog. We can put in a crocus bag, put up on your head, and carry you like a fool. Brother Dog would have never known. And we can tell Brother Monkey, so him win the bet. For Brother Dog can't see never pass through him yard, palm the head. What you say? And here Brother Puss with him fool self. Alright, Brother Nancy, make me run a joke upon Brother Dog, and he jump in at the bag, and he go in at the bag, and he jump up on Brother Nancy head, and then gallop, till them reach in a Brother Dog yard. All of a sudden, here Brother Nancy, Brother Puss, stop the wiggle up yourself pants off of my head. True man. I saw. And here poor Brother Puss. Quiet, Brother Nancy. Mind you make Brother Dog hear we. Who will tell me quiet? And you shut off of me either. You take me a foul. You forget thanks me and carry up on my head. You did your back answer me. Here comes Brother Dog. Who is that? Brother Nancy? No, it's Brother Puss. You really so wicked to me, Brother Nancy? catch you know one piece of temper. Who you call wicked? You have to glad me and carry upon my head. And I thanks alone me again. Louis take you and dash you in a dog yard, you know. So said, so done. Brother Nancy, take brother puss and fling him in a brother dog yard. Brother dog run after brother puss and he start to fight. And brother puss start to fight. And the two of them start fight at each other. And from that day on, anytime brother dog see brother puss, them start fight and them can't live near them one another. And Nancy calls it Jack Mandora. Me not choose none.
Great Anansi is the king of our imagination, bringing stories with the light of the ancient Africa. Great Anansi is a griot, a chantuel, a calypsonian. What a wonderful delight is to hear her stories. Like an enormous spider web, she weaves her stories, and the grandpa and the kids, they all love what there's to hear. Great Anansi is the king of our imagination. Anansi is the wonder of creation. Anansi is the king of our imagination. Anansi is the wonder of creation.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back. Right now, we are going into a commercial break.
So stay tuned.
We'd like to say thanks to all our sponsors. Ministry of Culture,
Yeah.
Gender,
NCD Foundation.
NCD Foundation.
Are we next?
If you are just joining us, welcome back to Anansi SOUNDSPLASH 2020. Today is National Storytelling Day in Jamaica.
Yeah.
We are happy that children in Cayman, Grenada, and Turks and Caicos are sharing this with us.
Yeah, man. It looked like Anansi spread the news far and near, worldwide.
Yes, Jerry, all the way to Bird Cherry Island.
Yeah.
You know where Bird Cherry Island is?
So like somewhere a lot of cherries are.
I tell you, it's so like somewhere in Jamaica.
Hey, man, I tell you, I love cherry, see? Cherry are something we love.
Yes.
Yeah, man, I tell you, brother.
Imagine all of those children in Cayman, Turks and Caicos and Grenada are sharing with us just like them there, Jamaica.
Yeah, man, they must be enjoying the stories like we are.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
So right now we will go into our next feature.
Me glad you there, me glad you come. I have a story to tell you, and it's all about Anansi and Cherry Island. Me say, anytime the bird them would have go to Cherry Island, they would have bring back cherry for Anansi. So one day, them have a discussion about inviting Anansi to Cherry Island. But there was a major problem. Anansi can't fly. So them discuss. So till them come up with this idea. Every bird are going to be Anansi one feather, and them are going to use gum from a tree and place yarn for Anansi. When Anansi was up and ready to journey with them fly, so till them reach a bird island. But Anansi was a trickster, and I had a name for that, a thief. So when they were about to pick the cherry, here Anansi did. After the tree, who do not touch it, then go at other tree. Him said the same thing. Then go at every tree, and he said the same thing. So the bird them fly, we go have a discussion. While we discuss, Anansi then name cherry. Indium, so till he drop asleep. When the bird them see Anansi asleep, them go and take back them tail from Anansi and fly when they feel. So when Anansi wake up now, Anansi realize say he no see friend them. No way! When he look down at source of water, and bear in mind, the place is dark. So Anansi say, anywhere there's a will, there got to be a way. Anansi must look him courage and say, if me sink, me sink. If me float, me float. Anansi throw the bag of cherry in the water. And if guess what? He bag sink. Anansi jump off and him sink too. He sink so till he reach down a sister alligator. When Anansi see sister alligator, him got reaching and throat. But bear in mind, knowing Anansi, him now go down without a fight. So here Anansi now. Lord, my first cousin. A long time I didn't tell me about you, I just come to look for you. I don't pity them, who don't come here in the family, who don't come give me a hug. Sister Alligator was confused, but him still make Anansi stay the night. When everybody asleep, Anansi and enough self gone from the people in house. So Anansi find her nest with 20 fresh eggs. Anansi near 19 of the human egg. And when I'm about to eat the last egg, him hear Sister Alligator come. He hurry up and cook it up. Hear him to Sister Alligator. A bathroom may come from a child. The next morning now, hear Sister Alligator wear picture. Who don't carry the egg, them come and wash them. Hear Anansi. Let the pretty them and will make them sleep. No one carry them, come make you wash them. So Anansi carry the one egg 20 times. And when he carried the 20th time, him yum the egg. It was time for Anansi to go home. Sister Alligator have 3 friends. One can chat, one can hear, and one can see. She called them to go assist Anansi to land. When them catch it, I give me the life seed. One man said to Sister Alligator, say, go check your egg there. When Sister Alligator look, no egg no there. Here are 3 fish them. Oh look, here them come. Here the fish them to Anansi. And when Sister Alligator they say, here Anansi, whether they see, pull fish shore. The foolish fish them pull so till them reach a shore. Anansi say, him not send them back. So him say, make me play again. Anansi jump in and jump out and back. And him say to the fish them, do the same thing. Them jump in and Anansi hold the bag out and tie it. And him catch a big fire and throw the fish them in there and roast them and eat them clean off. Not even left tail the sister alligator. Chapman door, never choose.
Anansi and the king daughter. Once upon a time, there was a very bad bull who lived in the woodland. And everybody did afraid of him. But them said that the bull had a golden tongue and plenty man go for kill him and get rich. But guess what? None of them no come back and kill all of them. Now the king of the country did well want the gold, but he never want to get for him dead. So he give out the sound and said that anybody will kill this bull and bring the tongue to him, him gonna give them a gift. What a prize. Guess what? You're the king daughter, the princess, he married to. See? No, Anansi did love of this girl, this princess, and decided to say, oh, he want her, he love her for married to. But he wasn't going to fight no big bad bull. He neither love nor gold nor money. So, alright, Anansi work up a little plan in his head and say, how me I go work out this thing to himself? Come up with something and then Anansi go check his friend named Tukuma. Here Anansi. Brother Tukuma, me here say, enough man I go check out for that bull, you know, I want to get him because money dep on him head. So about you? You know, I'm going to feed and try to get rich too. Tukuma say, me? Here Anansi. You yes? I got a little plan man, but me no big and strong like you. And Brother Anansi, give out the sound and make Brother Tukuma know what am I dealing with. Tukuma jump up all out. Thank you Anansi. Thank you Brother Anansi. When do it? Me glad you check me. So Tukuma get a red bag and he full it of sand. Full it with sand and he get a long rope and climb up in a one tree in the woodland. Because he's afraid of the bull too, you know, but he might make a try. So with him bag and him rope in this tall tree, Tukuma sit there waiting for the bull. When Tukuma see the bull come, he let down the red bag and swing. Boom! He bucked the bull right in the forehead. The bull run full tilt and stuck in it, and then Tukuma swing him rope and I say, rope, catch him now. So him leg on the rope like magic, and so the rope just go around the bull neck. He hang hard on it and the sandbag just bring down the cow, the bull rather. Now, him fear the bull, so him hold on it till him sleep well. Then him just go and cut off him head. Put the head in our bag and set out for the kingdom. Now, upon him way, him buck up Anansi. Here Anansi. Hi brother Tukuma. Where that you got there? Tukuma tell him. Anansi say, what a foolish man you is. Brother Tukuma, you mean say you gonna go through all of that work and carry the gold tongue of the king? You know how rich. You know how rich too. Cut out the tongue man and keep it for yourself. When you get rich, you can have all of the woman you want to marry to. Brother Tukuma say, you know say a true. A true, you know brother Anansi. What a good thing we meet you. Brother Tukuma cut out the tongue and head for him yard. Now, as soon as he do that, Anansi grab up the head and set off for the kingdom. God, he love the king daughter. He never business about gold or money. When the king see the bull head, so glad him forget to even check to see if the tongue was in the head. He make wedding plans, pay for it, jingle bell ring, wedding a go on. He not the mingle of the merrymaking. And that's he just go grab the girl and run off before one of the king man them allow out and say, wait. After people now they come out, he say, wait tongue. So Anansi did have to run off. Because guess what? Everybody after Anansi now. Anansi run off, but the king girl, the king princess, he love him off. So she fling one kerchief off of him and he just land on his belly. Well, Anansi catch it on his belly. And that's why every time you see Anansi after that, you see him with one white thing on his belly. And the queen handkerchief. Jack Mandora, me not choose none.
Used to wonder why I knew but couldn't tell. I didn't read so well. I joined the library. It's done so much for me. Pages I'm turning.
I am Errol Johnson, Justice of St. Mary and Chairman of the St. Mary Parish Library Committee. Today I'm extending an invitation to all citizens of St. Mary to become members of the St. Mary Parish Library Network and to avail themselves of the facilities of our reading material and our computer services. You can use these services free of cost in an environment that is COVID secure. Thank you. God bless you.
I didn't read so well. I joined the library. It's done so much for me. Pages I'm turning while I'm learning every day. Turn up page.
Hi, my name is Asay Gordon, representing the St. Mary Parish Library. You ever wonder why dog always a back of a vehicle? You ever wonder why when comes a vehicle, then turn up in the road and a move? You ever wonder why when goats a vehicle come and take him foot and run? Welcome. Let me take you back on a journey. Once upon a time, Brother Dog, Brother Cole, and Brother Goat went on a trip. Yes, man. On the trip they went and they have a lot of fun, man. Those were the days where you never pay a fare before you go on a trip. You used to pay the fare when you're coming back home. No. On the way, when them coming on driver said to them, all of you have a fare? Everybody say, yes, man, we have a fare, man. I'm to your driver. I've been taking back minus. Driver come when they reach. Brother Cole reach in destination. Brother Cole come out and Brother Cole pay him fare. Yes. Car driver, no man through the valley and gone up no. Brother Goat come out and guess what Brother Goat do? Brother Goat run! So when the driver reached Brother Dog's destination, Brother Dog said, one that driver. You know, like some of you children out there, when your mother give you money, you save it up, you don't spend it, you have big money, man, like Brother Dog. Yes. So the dog give you fear, no man, big money. You know what the driver do? Drive off with Brother Dog. Cheer, yes! From that day until now, 2020. Anytime dog, the vehicle come, it no matter who I drive it. I could the Prime Minister, I could the House of Parliament, I could the mother, I could the father, I could the uncle or even pastor. Brother Dog said, ruff, ruff, ruff. Give me change, give me change. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Give me change, give me change. Yes, man. That's why dogs have the back of a vehicle. But you when time you see goat, you notice goat. When time goes the vehicle come, goat no ask no question. Go get up on the foot and bread and goat run. And goat run because vehicle go lick them down. Notice how they goat lick down, not rolled by a car, yes. But the body's master is Brother Cole. Brother Cole said, hey, me no want nobody. Me no want pastor pardon, nobody pardon. So when time come, here Brother Cole said, I couldn't choke. I couldn't care. I couldn't die. Once you see brother come, you know say you got to. Hi everybody, I am Auntie Denise and I'm from the Westmoreland Parish Library Network. It's our annual National Storytelling Day, and today I'll be telling you a story about little Miss Precious. Precious lived in the country with her mother and father. One Saturday morning, her mother asked her to go to the shop. Her mother gave her the list of items to be bought, her taxi fare to the shop, and her taxi fare back home. Precious, however, decided that she would walk to the shop, walk back home, have the extra money to buy sweets and ice cream. She made it to the shop. She bought the list of items, got her sweets, got her ice cream. Walking back home, she noticed a white car coming slowly down the road. She didn't panic. She watched and watched and watched. When the car drove up to her, the gentleman in the front said to her, "Hi, Kitty Kitty, do you want a sweetie?" Precious politely said to him, "No, thank you, sir. I don't accept gifts from strangers." The other gentleman in the car said to her, "Hey, Kitty, do you want a ride?" She again responded politely, "No, thank you, sir. I do not accept gifts from strangers." By this, Precious realized that the gentleman in the back was opening the back door. She made one big run, as we in Jamaica would say, put her foot in her hand, and she cried for help. "Help! Help! Help!" And she ran to Miss Mattie's house. Miss Mattie ran out to Precious, and Precious was so frantic. She said, Miss Mattie, them try to take me away." Miss Mattie took her cell phone and called the police. When the police came, Precious was able to give them the license plate number of the vehicle and describe every gentleman inside. Miss Mattie was so proud of her. Miss Mattie called her mother. When Precious saw her mother, Precious started to cry. And she cried. And she cried. Her mother said to her, "Precious, what happened?" "Mommy, I saw the car coming, and as soon as I realized that the man was opening the door, I didn't want him to take me away. So I ran and I shouted for help. Miss Mattie came out to me. She called the police, and they caught the gentleman up the road, and I'm so happy, you see, Mommy, they didn't get a chance to take away any little girls that day. But Mommy, you know what saved me? Just because I was a member of the library, and they had a talk at the library, put on by the library, and the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the policeman spoke to us about road safety for children. So I was very aware and observant when I saw the car coming slowly down the road. And another thing is, Mommy, I remember borrowing a book at the library that told us about this little girl that was abducted, and they told you all the things that you should not do while you were on the road. Mommy, I am sorry I disobeyed you, and I will never disobey you again.
Start back from
You know, there was a time when anywhere you wanted to go, you had to travel through the forest because there were no roads. Yes. And there was a time when good had to conquer evil because the forest had things that you would have to encounter. And sometimes it's our friends, the animals, that really saved us. The story is about a seamstress. A seamstress is someone who can sew. This particular seamstress could sew just about anything, whether a hat, a shirt, a pants, anything you want she could sew. She had 2 daughters. One was called Miss Goody because she was always good, and the other was called Miss Baddy because she was always bad. Now the mother and the grandmother living in another district, and one Christmas she sewed a wonderful dress and called Miss Goody to take it to her. But as you know, she had to go through the forest of the unknown. So the mommy sent the 3 dogs with her. Come belly bang, come belly bang bang, come belly bang me down. And the 3 girls and Miss Goody set out through the forest, over stone, under bush, in the water, over stone. Bang! How drunk that fearful head. Just the head. No neck, no shoulder, just the head. And the head said, "You're traveling." "Yes, I'm traveling." "You're traveling alone?" "No." "Who and you?" "Me and 3 dogs." "Call them, let me hear." Come belly bang, come belly bang bang, come belly bang me down. The heads came, the dogs came, and the head disappeared. And so it was safe for Miss Goody to go through now. And she got to where her grandmother lived. The grandma was so happy to see her and was really pleased with the dress. Then grandma said, "Miss Goody, I know you must be hungry, you know. I have some soup here. Come, take it and enjoy." "Grandma, please give the dogs the soup, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here." And so the dogs lapped at the soup while Miss Goody sat and watched. Grandma said, "Miss Goody, you're not going home tonight in that dark forest, you know. I don't want you to feel that, to see that head again. So guess what? You're going to sleep right here on the sofa." "No, Grandma. Please let the dogs sleep on the sofa. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. I'd sleep on the floor." And that's exactly what she did. Next morning, she set out again to go back home to the mommy. And of course, she had to encounter the head. And the dogs took care of that. And she got home to mommy safe. Mommy was glad to see her. But then came Easter, and the seamstress sewed another dress for her mother. Well, this time who did she call? Yes, Miss Baddy. "Miss Baddy, come and take this dress to your grandma." "No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going." "You are going. And I'm sending the 3 dogs with you through the forest." "I don't want them dogs there. I don't want them." "You are going with them." Well, want it or not, Miss Baddy and the 3 dogs set out through the forest. Over stone, under bush, in the water. Over stone, under bush, till bang! How drunk the head. "You're traveling?" "Yes, I am traveling." "You're traveling alone?" "No, me and 3 full dogs." "Call them, let me hear." Come belly bang, come belly bang bang, come belly bang me down. And the head disappeared. And Miss Goody was able to go through the forest and reach the grandma. Mama sent this dress for you. You have no food here." "Girl, where is your manners?" "I said, I'm hungry, Grandma. I'm hungry. I want food." Well, Grandma brought the soup this time and said, "I believe you're going to let the dogs get some of the soup." "Grandma, I'm me hungry. Dog can't go on. If I have any bone, they will get it." And Miss Goody lapped Miss Baddy, lapped up the soup, spit out the bones alone for the dogs. Well, when it was sleeping time, Grandma offered her the settee and said, "Miss Baddy, I think you're going to make the dogs sleep on this." "Grandma, your dog must sleep outside. Outside! Ho! And she shut the dogs out in the cold and slept like on the settee. Well, next morning, she was on her way home through the forest. Over stone, under bush, in the water. Over stone, under bush, till bang, 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 bang. 4 rolling calves, breathing fire, long teeth, coming closer to her. "You're traveling?" "Yes, I'm traveling." "You're traveling alone?" "No, me and 3 wonderful dogs." "Call them, let me hear." Come belly bang, bang bang. Come belly bang me now. Come belly bang. Come belly bang bang. Come belly bang me now. No dogs. And the rolling cars got closer to her. Closer, closer. One took her head. One took her feet. And the other two took the sides and dragged them in the bushes. Well, by this time, the dogs got home, and the seamstress realized something was wrong. Miss Goody, come, we're going to the forest. Something's wrong with your sister. So the seamstress and Miss Goody, along with the 3 dogs, went through the forest, over stone, under bush, in the water, over stone, till bang! How jumped a head. And the head said, no, the head said, Mommy, Mommy, Miss Goody, help me, help me. I promise if you help me, I'll be a wonderful girl. Well, the head was there and the seamstress called the dogs. Come belly bang, come belly bang bang, come belly bang belly bang. And she sent them east and west and north for the other parts of the body. And she took them all together and took them home. I said she was a what? A seamstress. And she could do what? Sew anything. And so she went to work. And she sewed. And she sewed. And she sewed. And she sewed. And she sewed until Miss body was back together again. And as soon as she was back together, she said, Mommy, Mommy, I love you, Miss Goody, I love you. Mommy, Mommy, from now, you're going to see something. You have 2 daughters. One is Miss Goody, and the other will be Miss Goody, Goody too. From that day, she was no more a bad girl. She was all good. I hope you all will be good. See you.
Children, children.
Yes, Grandma.
Children, children.
Yes, Mama.
Where have you been to?
Grandpapa.
You don't reach to this library as yet.
Yes, just
Some of you
reach
still
down,
hanging out
Mama.
by Grandpapa. You don't hear what the gentleman just said. If you stray from the path that you have been sent, you might not have the protection of bang belly bang and bang belly bang bang bang. So be on your way to the library, please. That's where we're having our Anansi SOUNDSPLASH. And so I want you to know that in addition to taking care of yourself physically, there are other ways you can take care of yourselves. You can take care of yourselves by budgeting the little lunch money that you get. So you don't spend all of it on toy, and you don't spend out your bus fare. When you have money, you put it down for a particular purpose, and you don't use it for anything else. I have someone with me that I want to introduce you to, who knows all about budgeting and putting down the money for what you want the money to do. Her name is Miss Diana Pusey. Miss Diana Pusey, would you step up and meet my beautiful children, please?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
There you are. It's good to see you. And Miss Diana Pusey is the business development representative of the NCB branch at Halfway Tree. Now, I wonder if you know why NCB is here with us today. Mr. Jerry Neal. Mr. Jerry Neal. Mr. Sean.
Yes, we're here.
Mr. Jerry Neal, do you know why Miss Pusey is here with us today?
Enlighten us.
Because why?
Because we love eat off money and eat and do them things.
I can't hear you.
Because we love eat off money and we're not spending wisely. Is that it?
I can't hear you. So since I can't hear you, let me tell you why she's here with us today. Anansi SOUNDSPLASH has many friends in some wonderful places.
Oh.
Some of these places are called foundations, which is to say they exist to look after special causes. And the National Commercial Bank has a foundation. There you see them nice, big, pretty logo. The National Commercial Bank has a foundation that loves what we're doing. And every year they come along to see what we're doing and to encourage us to do it. And today, Miss Diana Pusey wants to encourage all our children to do something else. Right, Miss Pusey?
That's correct.
So let us hear from you, please.
Okay, thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure. And as you said, I'm from the NCB Half-a-Tree branch, and I am here to educate everyone about the importance of saving. So,
Your sound, I forget that nice sound is off.
Everyone's hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Right. So what is saving and why should we save? So it's basically you separating whatever income you have into what is spent and what is held back. So what we often encourage persons to do is no matter how much money you have or how much money you earn, it is important to always put some away. So for example, for children growing up, I know that a lot of persons have piggy banks, and with Jamaicans, we use that little bamboo thing to drop the monies in, or you have that little instrument that looks like a little pig and you drop your coins in there. That's an important way for us to go ahead and influence our children to save. Why should we save? We never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So even though we're saying, okay, I have $50 today and I want to purchase something, what is important for you to do is say, for example, okay, you give yourself a time span to get that item. You don't buy it right away. So you say, okay, I have $50. I'm going to save $10 for 5 days, and I'm going to purchase something that values $50. It allows you to budget yourself, so you're not spending off everything that you have. So with NCB, we have what is called a start account. So children under the age of 18 can open what is called a start account. It allows you to be on that account with an adult, so a guardian. So what you require to do is to come in with your birth certificate, your passport ID, if you have a passport, or a passport picture ID, or passport that is certified by a JP, along with a ID from your school. So if you're attending school, you take your school ID with you. And for your guardian, the guardian will take the typical documents, ID, TRN, proof of address, and 2 references. So the ID type, of course, for the adult would be anything that is issued by the government. So your electoral ID, your driver's license, or your passport, your TRN card. So you know that now we have that sheet that is printed on a letter size. You can use that. If you have the card, that is also good. Proof of address. It proves where you're living. So you can either use what is on your ID as your proof of address, whether it's your driver's license or your electoral ID, or you can use a utility bill. And that is a JPS bill, an NWC bill, or your cable bill. You can also use for your proof of address something that is postmarked, so something that you have received in the mail. So if somebody mailed you something that is not 6 months ago, you can use that as your proof of address. Now we're also asking for proof of income. What is proof of income? It shows that you're employed, you're gainfully employed, and you're going to be able to service your account. And when we say service your account, we mean you're going to be able to provide monies to deposit from a legitimate means. So you're going to have monies coming in to put in your account. So for proof of income, you have your pay slips or your job letter. And this is for the adult though, because for the start account, you have to be a child or a minor that is below age 18, and you have to be on that account with an adult. At age 12, you're able to issue what is called a debit card to that minor. So it means that you're able to come into the branch, sign your signature card, and you get what is called a Midas card. Well, we're now issuing debit Visa cards. So at that point, the child would have a debit Visa card, and they're able to pin their card on their own. So we feel more comfortable at that age that the child would be educated enough to know how to use the machine, what not to do, and how to keep their passwords private. Because, of course, if you have a PIN, you should not be issuing it to everyone for them to access your monies. So I'm going to repeat. So for your start account that influences children to save, you come on that account with a minor and an adult. So the adult comes with ID, proof of address, TRN, proof of income, and the birth certificate for the child. Because of course, we do not expect somebody to come with a child and say, yes, I am the guardian for this child, and in truth, they are not. So they have to have that birth certificate to prove that they're in relation to that child. For the child, you take a passport size photo, your passport, or an ID that was issued by the school. Those documentations, we can go ahead and open a start account, and you open it with $100. So that is $100. If you have more, of course, you can start the account with that, but we ask you to come with $100. It allows the child at that early stage in life to know the importance of putting away some monies for the rainy day, because you never know what's going to happen. It gives you the notion that, okay, I have accomplished this from this. So if you earn, or if you get your lunch money, you get $200 and you just need to spend $100 for the day. You can save, say, $50. And eventually, for now, when it's coming on to Christmas, you can say, okay, I want to buy mommy a Christmas gift, or I want to buy daddy a Christmas gift, or mommy's birthday is coming up. So you have that money there saved to purchase anything that you want to purchase. Okay. Is there any questions? Is there anything that is unclear?
Well, everything seems okay.
Clear, Miss Diana, and it is not just clear to us here in Jamaica and the special schools that you support, who always come when we are in a real situation, and who we know now are logged on because the ministry sent out the bulletin. It is clear to all of us here. It is clear to the teachers. I never know, when I was 12 years old, my mother wouldn't give me no card at all to manage. But times have changed. Right. And so now at 12, our children are going to be brought into this arena of financial management. But children in Turks and Caicos, I hear you now, you know, miss? Yes.
That's wonderful.
Because the library has connections with the schools in Turks and Caicos, and they have been invited to join us. And us in Jamaica usually have a festival that coincides with the festival in Cayman. And so as soon as my festival finish, I go to Cayman. So guess what Cayman festival people agreed to do? Broadcast our National Storytelling Day to their children in Cayman. So I know they're on, and I know that them hear you. And then we have some wonderful friends. We have Ann Worm from Grenada, and she has been assisting us to get the message about our storytelling far and wide. And I know she invited the Grenadian schools to also join us. But there's this wonderful man who calls himself Millicent Husband, who runs an outfit called Rampoon. And Rampoon have radio, and Rampoon have Facebook, and Rampoon have YouTube. And Rampoon is pushing this festival to all corners of the world, from up there in Delaware. Yeah. So we want to thank you very much, Miss Pusey, for supporting our festival today, for giving our children this very valuable advice. I know they hear it now, but when they realize how much the price is going up day after day after day because of COVID, then they will come to appreciate the practical application of what you have said. And we certainly also want to thank Carice and all the members of the foundation for being with us for the last 5 years. And 55 years more, don't it?
That's true. That's so true. Thank you guys for having me.
There's a question from the YouTube chat. Alison asks, are you issuing the Visa debit card? From my understanding, based on an email NCB sent,
so thank you very much,
has been suspended.
Okay, so thank you for that question. So we're in the process of issuing the Visa debit cards. What had happened was, once there was a spike in the COVID-19 situation in Jamaica, we had placed a hold on issuing the Visa debit cards. If it is that a customer has a Visa debit card or was issued previously with a Visa debit card and it was taken or lost by the machine or it was stolen, we have to reissue that card to that customer because we cannot allow that customer to be without a card, and we cannot take them back to the Midas card. So we will be sending out communication to our customers to state when, because what we had done was to put it on a name basis based on your last name that you could have came in, and we would have facilitated issuing the cards. But we have put a pause on that, and we're allowing persons who already have cards to gain access to another card if it has been lost or stolen.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a seat. I'm sorry, we have some children arriving who thought we were going to be, in fact, admitting children here on this location, but they are wearing their masks. So we are going to provide you with a device from which you can watch the rest of the festival. Please just observe social distancing. Sorry for that interruption. Welcome. Thank you for coming. All right, so thank you very much again, Miss Diana. We will be in touch. Give our best regards to all your staff.
I will, and you take care until we speak again.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Howdy everyone. My name is Patricia Cuff, and I'm from the St. Catherine Parish Library. At the library, during story time, I'm known as Auntie Patsy. So today, I'm Auntie Patsy to you. And the story that I shall be telling is the story of Ezekiel and the bones. Now one time, long time ago, there was a man named Brother Ezekiel. Brother Ezekiel was a man of mystery. Brother Ezekiel had vision. He could see things and know things. So one day, Brother Ezekiel had a vision. He see himself just going down into a valley, and when he go down in the valley, it was just full of bone. And all of the bone, them dry, not a thing could be done with them, no use. And everything just scattered all over the place. Now me and you wouldn't business with one bone where we couldn't do nothing with, not even wild soup. But Brother Ezekiel was there looking for the bone them. And a voice said to him, Brother Ezekiel, can these bones become people again? And Brother Ezekiel said, Master God, only you want know what can happen to them bones. And the voice said to Ezekiel, get up and go and talk to them. Tell them I am going to put skin on them. I'm going to put flesh on them. I'm going to turn them into people again. Go tell them, Ezekiel. No, me and you would not be talking to no bone, because that would look like source of holiness. But Ezekiel get up and embrace out in chest, and him go and him say, oh bones, bones, hear this. You're going to get skin. You're going to get flesh. You're going to get hair. You're going to become people again, bone. And so him a talk. And so him a tell them. Him just hear a shaking and a rattling and an everlasting noise. And when he look, bones start fly about the place. Toe bone lick, foot bone lick, ankle bone lick, shin bone lick, leg bone gone a backbone touch neck bone and head bone connect. I mean the bone them just a find them bone. And when he look, him see a whole mass of people just lay down there. Them lay down there. People lay down before him. But them never did breathe yet, no breath yet. Then the voice said to him, Brother Ezekiel, Brother Ezekiel, talk to the wind. Tell the wind to come blow upon them. Call the wind from the east and from the west. Call it from the north and from the south. And tell it to come blow upon them here. And Brother Ezekiel turn up. And he throw back in chest. And he hold up his head. And he say, breeze, come from the east. Come from the west. Come from the north and come from the south. Come blow upon them bodies here for me. And so him attack. All you hear are whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Breeze this a blow. I come from east and west and north and south. And so the breeze a blow. I saw him see the people them just a get up and turn up. And when he look, an army turn up there. People stand up there and look on him. And the voice said to him, Ezekiel, these are those people who think, say them hope's gone, not no left, everything done, everything crash, everything mash up, no hope. Well, my friends, let me tell you something. In this COVID time, plenty people I think them hope done. They not no work. Everything crash, everything mash up, all seem to be lost. But like Brother Ezekiel, let me tell you, there is a word for every situation. Just stand steady, stand quiet, and listen for your word. Aye, aye, aye.
No, anybody ever wonder why crab nano head? Well, I going to tell you a little story. Auntie Dinah, oi. Auntie Dinah, oi. Well, that is the sound you would always hear the neighbor calling out when she passing with that bankra basket, loaded with things coming from the market. No, Crab used to live way on top of the hill with his father. No, Crab father, him was the best head maker in town. He make all kind of head. He would make hog head, cow head, dog head, fowl head, any type of head you want, you can get it. So Crab father used to tell him, Crab, you know you need to learn the head making business, you know, man. Because very soon I may pass on. Now knowing Crab's son, just like some of the children now, all they're into is technology. So he didn't pay any mind at all to that. So Crab father would get up like about 3 a.m. in the morning and he would make as much head as he can, load them into his bankra basket, then he would make a big thing we call a cutter. It's a rest to put the basket on top of Crab's head and send him all the way down to the market to sell the heads. Now this particular Saturday, Crab go out, man, and him sell and he make enough money. Now on his way back, Crab met a very bow-stificated looking man who stopped him on the way. Mr. Crab, I want you to make me a very bow-stificated looking head. I needed to wear to a wedding later. Now this man was dressed in a 3-piece suit and he had on his pointed mouth shoes, shine like a dollar piece. Now, as Crab think about it, the man said to Crab, "No, Crab, how much money you made today?" And Crab said to him, "I made enough money." Now the man said to Crab, "You know, I can double that money if you decide to sell me your head." And so the man dig into his pocket and flip out in billfold and enough kiles of money showing Crab. So Crab is there now, man, and Crab start to think about it. And Crab decided that he was going to sell his head to the man. And so Crab decided he was screw off him head, pluck out the eye them out of the head and stick them into the shoulder. And then Crab now, and you know they say walk sideways like a crab. He was walking that way, man. And Crab lived way across the hill. Now Crab has to find himself going all the way down to that deep corner. But when Crab reached the crossroad, and that is where roads join, you know, him see a big blue circle, and that meant the number of completion in somebody's life. And that simply means somebody dead. Now Crab start to get excited now, man. And Crab realized there's something not right. And he could hear the pealing of the African drum and the nice thinking in the music down there, man. Kuma famati beli, kuma famati beli, kuma famati beli, kuma famati beli, mati beli yako. Yes, man. And as Crab, Tilly and Tally sideways and reached nearer down to the house, Crab realized there was a hell of a crowd in front of the gate, straight along the lane leading down to him yard. So Crab bob him way go round now. And when Crab go round, hell of a ball in the father room. Now, all them see the people doing was turning the bed over, covering the mirror, and them have a thing called broom with something them use as broom. Sweep out the house. And then him realized his father dead. No, Crab father did always tell him that him want him to learn what the head making business, but he never paid any mind. And me say, Crab start to holler and start to carry on. And Crab realized from that day, Crab realized say him nah no head. Mad, sick, head no good. 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 And I say from that day, that is why Crab nah no head.
Anansi lived in a village where there was famine and drought on the land. So he had to find a way to care for his family. But there was this lady who lived in the same village. Her name was Five. She didn't like it at all. Anybody who called her name, she would cast a spell on them and they would go to sleep for a year. Now, Anansi heard this, and you know how he likes to use his head. Him put on him glasses, you see, and him think about how him going to use him head on somebody. Now, him there and him thinking, how I go find some food for my family? Him see Brother Rabbit come in, and Nancy gather up some pile of carrots and tie them up and fix them and sit on one pile. Him see Brother Rabbit come in and him say, "Oh, Brother Rabbit, sir, come here, sir." Brother Rabbit come. If you can count how much pile of carrot I have right here, I'll give you one for your family. Brother Rabbit said, "Oh, that's easy, Brother Nancy, that's easy." And Brother Rabbit start to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brother Rabbit drop a dirty, start sleep. And Nancy didn't even wait. And Nancy take up Brother Rabbit and carry him straight home, go give him wife to cook for dinner. Now they had feast for weeks. Them been a eat rabbit meat. No. Them a get hungry again. Time a run out. So Anansi started to think now, how am I going to feed my family again because food running out? What can I do now? So him see Mrs. Cow. Now Mrs. Cow big, fat and juicy, you know. So him have to try find a way to get to Mrs. Cow. So him run go get some grass and pile them up and stack them up, man. And then he saw Mrs. Cow coming. And he said, "Mrs. Cow, if you would be kind enough to count how many piles of grass I have here, I would be glad to give you one." Now, Mrs. Cow was so happy to hear all of this. She said, very well, Mr. Anansi. And she come now and she count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh? Mrs. Cow drop a dirty. No one Anansi can't manage Mrs. Cow, you know, because Mrs. Cow very big. So him tie on one rope on Mrs. Cow neck, and he drag Mrs. Cow, and he drag Mrs. Cow till him reach him yard, and give it to him wife to cook. For weeks them eating beef. Them just eat, go away so. No food I run out now, you know, after months of this feast, your food I run out. And Nancy now thinking, God, why how me going to feed my family for the next weeks? How? Then him thinking, he see Mrs. Chicken passing and him say, wonder if I could find a way to get Mrs. Chicken. No, Mrs. Chicken know about Anansi, you know. She know him love use him head. But she is aware, so she know when Anansi call Mrs. Chicken. Mrs. Chicken, after Nancy go pile up corn, you know, and him sit on one of the corn pile, and him call Mrs. Chicken, Mrs. Chicken, would you be kind enough to come and count these piles of corn I have here? I'd be glad enough to give you one for your family. Mrs. Chicken, she stood well poised. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one you're sitting on. And Nancy got upset. How dare you? That's not how you count. You are to do it right. Do it over now. So Mrs. Chicken said, okay. And she started to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one you're sitting on. And Nancy got upset. He got up from where he was sitting and said, how dare you? You are not supposed to count it like this. You are to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh? And Nancy dropped a dirty. And he slept for 1 whole year. Now, when he got up from his long sleep, he realized that he wasn't the only smart one. Mrs. Chicken outsmart him. Jack Mandora, me no choose none.
The Trelawney Parish Library's Memory of the Parish project was launched on Thursday, the 18th of November 2010. The objectives of the project was collecting and preserving historical information on people, buildings, and social practices and monuments, as well as collecting artifacts and other noteworthy objects and writing. Visit us online or at the Parish Library as we continue to explore the history of Trelawney through the Memory of the Parish project.
Recently, Great Spirit has been looking down on mankind. Great Spirit gets up every morning and he walks to the edge of heaven and he looks over. And what do you think Great Spirit sees? That we're stupid, that we're foolish, that we lack wisdom, that we listen to things we no go so. And so Great Spirit got himself a great big calabash. And in that calabash, Great Spirit decided he would put all the things that we need. A little science, a little technology, a little engineering, a little art, a little mathematics, and lots and lots and lots of stories. And he called Kweku Anansi. And he said, Anansi, I now proclaim you the wisdom curator. I want you to go down to earth and save my people from ignorance and all the false news proclamators. And Anansi took this calabash of wisdom and knew that he had been given a very special task to take care of a very special thing. And so he had to find a very special place to put it. And Anansi thought, I will put this calabash of wisdom into the most sacred tree I can find. So Anansi went walking around the world looking for a sacred tree, and when he came to America, he found the sequoia. It wasn't pleasing to him. So he went walking some more, and he went to South Africa and he found the baobab. But he went walking some more, until he got to Oaxaca in Mexico. He didn't want to leave the calabash of wisdom there. So Anansi came right back home to Jamaica. And Anansi walked, Anansi see mango tree, breadfruit tree, all kind of tree. And Anansi found the blue mahoe. And Anansi decided he would take the calabash of wisdom up into the blue mahoe. And Anansi tied the calabash of wisdom round him waist and him going up the tree. And the tree and the calabash beating up together and making some nice music. Me go down a river with me calabash. And the music so sweet and the sound carried far and wide. And all the people came up to see what I do it. When they look up, them see Anansi trying to go up into the tree with the calabash of wisdom on him belly. Hear them. Anansi, what is that? Is a cup? Is a saucer? Is a drum? Is a magic thing? Anansi said, all of the above. And Great Spirit got it from Africa. And he gave it to me. And he says I am to put it in the tallest, most sacred tree. Hear somebody. And Anansi, why you have the calabash on your belly? Why you don't carry it on your back? So Anansi come out the tree and he put the calabash of wisdom on his back. And Anansi going up the tree, and somebody said, Anansi, why you don't put the calabash of wisdom on your shoulder? Anansi come back down up the tree. Anansi put the calabash on his shoulder. Anansi come, Anansi, put it in your elbow. Anansi, put it behind your knee. Anansi, under your neck. And everybody giving Anansi advice as to how to handle the calabash of wisdom, although previously they had none. And Anansi became so confused. The calabash fell and broke, and all the wisdom scattered. And Anansi stood up there not knowing what to do, and all the people gathered around not knowing what to do either. When all of a sudden, out of the wild bushes of Greece, a man come and said his name was Plato, and he knelt down and he picked up some of what had spilled out of Anansi's wisdom calabash. It was delicious. So he went and he told his friend Mr. Aristotle, and Mr. Aristotle came and he had a similar tasting experience. It was wonderful. And the next thing you know, Hippocrates was coming along to taste some, and all of Pythagoras, all of their friends were coming, and all the people for whom Anansi had bought the calabash of wisdom just stood there as if they didn't know that this wisdom calabash was meant just for them, and that there was something inside of that calabash which only they could use to save the world. And so we go down a river, with the calabash. We looking at the water, with the calabash. Nobody draw back, no draw back, no draw back, no draw back. The calabash.
So Sean, what's Sean is? Sean? Hey, Sean. Oh, no, where's Sean gone, eh? I wonder if him take a trip to NCB. I wonder if Sean gone to many of the beautiful libraries out there. Why the library them beautiful, eh? Yeah. You know what? I call Sean. Sean. Oh yeah, how you have me one down as some man, Sean? You say that's around the corner.
Yes, Jerry.
I hope you learned something from that trip you were taking on. Some wisdom.
I learned a lot. And one thing that I learned is labor for learning.
Oh, hold on. Me know it. Come on. Let me say it together. Labor for learning before you grow old. For learning is better than silver or gold. Silver or gold will vanish away, but a good education, wisdom, will never decay. Right. Yeah, man. Trust me. Well, as Auntie Amina always said, that the stories is for one and all, big and small, short and tall, and it look like it's true, because me love the story them too.
Yes, look like it is true. And all of the stories bring that out. So it is true for the young and for the forever young.
Like me. Yeah, man, we want to say, thank you to some of our sponsors. Without you, this would never have been possible.
All right, so we want to say appreciation and thanks to the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport,
yes,
NCB Foundation,
the Musan Foundation, Jamaica Library Service,
Rita
Mali Foundation, yeah, man,
Caribbean Freedom Fighters,
Rampoon Radio,
Anansi himself, Storytellers, viewers.
Hey, guess what, guys? Join us tomorrow, Saturday, the 21st at 2 p.m. Let me sit, for Anansi Courthouse. And Dr. Amina tell me how that was sweet.
Jerry, Anansi Courthouse is Sunday.
Oh,
yes.
I test you know.
Tomorrow.
I will.
Ready to go courthouse.
All right. So tomorrow is Anansi rerun. Yeah, man. Your bright
Courthouse
is Sunday.
Sunday the 22nd at 2 p.m.
You're good youth.
Right. And remember, follow us on all the links. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook.
Yes. Yeah, man. We have much more fun for you. So you need to tune in and, put us in your alarm on your phone so you don't miss anything.
Right, the reminders. And Auntie Amina is right here to tell us more.
Yeah, and remember, spread the link, share it on your Facebook, on your WhatsApp, and like and subscribe and tell everybody what go on, because we have fun today, not true? Yeah, man. Auntie Amina?
That's the quickest hour and a half I've ever gone through in my life.
True.
It coming like we just start. The thing done already? Oh no. Fortunately, we still have 2 more days of the festival to go. Tomorrow, as you say, is Anansi rerun. That means Satan did run one time and then going to run again. Yes, he not run for nobody. He might run because he might keep fit. 1 time round the track is a run, and 2 times round the track is a rerun. Excellent. And then on Sunday, we close with a very important court case that takes place through storytelling. As usual, we want to big up Rampoon Radio, big up the Spice Lady from the Spice Island, Anworm. She has done a tremendous amount of work. We big up our friends in the Ministry of Education, Miss Nahimia Daniels and Miss Shireen Stubbs, who ensured that the bulletin was ready to go out to schools. And so we have to thank the Chief Education Officer, Captain Kassan Troop, for her invaluable collaboration and cooperation. This library, this Joyce Robinson room, has become our home. It's a place where all the students in Kingston are accustomed to come to on National Storytelling Day. So I kind of now go home right away because I have a feeling that if this batch come, another batch might come, since we go and advertise that all the activities would start at 2. And this batch, in fact, came early for 2 o'clock because them knows that once they come, no place for them to sit down. So we thank all the teachers who have used this time for something as valuable as any lesson plan that you would have written. We thank the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport. We thank the Musson Foundation. We had a wonderful book launch this morning, and the book is available. The book is available. The book is available. And the first 20 purchasers will receive an autographed copy of a poster from one of the pages in the book. We want you to buy the book, whether you get a poster or not. And then who else? I must pick up the Rita Marley Foundation, the hard-working staff of the Jamaica Library Service, the Director General, Miss Maureen Thompson, the head cook and buckle washer after her, Miss Kishma Simpson, Miss Patsy Gordon, Mr. Gilmore. You have been a tower of strength, along with Tashia and Jody and all of you. Mr. Goldburn, who has been here by my side, every time he say, "Me can't hear," him run come and say, "It's me do something with the microphone." Never mind. I'm used to pen and paper, not this kind of something. I get in there though. So thank you, everybody. Mr. Hall, thank you so very much. Mr. Hall, your editing has been nothing but brilliant, brilliant. Thank you so very much. And then one of these days we are going to eat some dukuno and saltfish and celebrate. So we are doing it virtually now. So here is your plate of dukuno and saltfish. One of these days it's going to be real. See you all tomorrow. Walk good and good Duppy walk with you.
They try to keep us down, scatter us all around to diverse parts of the earth, hoping we'd waste away. But no matter what they do, no matter what they say, all our daddy children are go Harambe, Harambe. Hear what I say?
It really has been too short. Really has been too short.